So first off, I'd like you all to imagine a world where when you get sick, you take some drugs and you get better. But doesn't that sound like our world? And the answer is not really. And it's because of something called antibiotic resistance. This is a serious problem, but fortunately there's a solution, and it's called phage therapy, the use of viruses called phages to overcome antibiotic resistance and to benefit New Zealand. But first, we need to look at what antibiotic resistance is and why it matters to us before looking at what phage therapy is, why would we overcome this problem effectively, its potential benefits for New Zealand, before finishing on some of the potential challenges. So first off, what is antibiotic resistance? Well, as you might already know, it's the ability of bacteria to withstand the effects of antibiotics, the drugs that we take to kill them. However, what you might not realize is exactly how important antibiotics really are in our lives. I mean, not only do they cure serious bacterial diseases like tuberculosis, pneumonia, meningitis, but they are also required to prevent infections after most surgeries, as well as for procedures such as organ transplants and chemotherapy. Think of a world where, because antibiotics no longer work, there are no more organ transplants, no more chemotherapy, and no more surgery. Because if we don't do something about this problem, this might end up being our future. Fortunately, however, there is a solution, and it's called phage therapy. Now, what phage therapy is the use of lytic bacteriophages, which are viruses which kill only bacteria by causing them to burst to treat bacterial infections, including those caused by antibiotic-resistant strains. So how they work is that they basically inject their DNA into a host cell and then produce more and more copies of itself within the cell until the cell swells and ultimately bursts, like in the video above. So there are also several reasons why phage therapy is an excellent approach to overcoming this problem. First is that they're actually self-evolving, which means that they can evolve alongside any phage-resistant bacteria that turn up to continue to be able to destroy them, which is one thing antibiotics cannot do, and frankly the reason why the problem of antibiotic resistance even exists. Secondly, they're actually very, very specific, which means that they'll target only the intended bacteria and not any beneficial bacteria of your body, so they won't cause any serious side effects. Thirdly, actually selecting and developing for the new phages only takes a few weeks, while the same process for antibiotics may take several years. Thus, you can hopefully see why phage therapy would be an excellent approach to overcoming this problem. There are several benefits of phage therapy for New Zealand. If we conduct more research and testing in New Zealand, we could eventually replace antibiotics for certain infections, allowing us to use them more sparingly, which would help beat the problem of antibiotic resistance. This could potentially save tens of thousands of Kiwi lives, because it would provide the effective treatment of not only currently resistant bacteria, but also resistant ones in the future. There would also be economic benefits, because by decreasing the time spent off work or in hospitals, phage therapy would increase New Zealand's productivity and economic output. It could also potentially clean up our waterways by removing harmful bacteria like salmonella, which can cause food poisoning, and making New Zealand the clean, green country that we pride ourselves on. All in all, there are many benefits of phage therapy for New Zealand, not only socially, but also economically and environmentally. However, with every improvement, there are also challenges, but for every challenge, there is also a solution. One major obstacle is the lack of presence of phage therapy in the mainstream media. And for people to begin accepting them as they do antibiotics, this has to change. Perhaps information like how phage therapy has been used successfully since the 1940s, and how it has essentially replaced antibiotics in certain countries like the Republic of Georgia, will help people adjust to this new form of treatment. Thus, there are many potential challenges to phage therapy, but for every challenge, there is also a solution. So today you've learned that phage therapy can provide us with an effective method to overcoming this problem of antibiotic resistance. Hopefully you can realize and understand the seriousness of this problem, as well as the nature of phage therapy and why it would be effective at overcoming this problem, its potential benefits for New Zealand, not only socially but also economically and environmentally, and some of the potential challenges in our way. So before I finish, I'd like you to think back to that world you imagined in the beginning, because with phage therapy, it might just end up being our future. Thank you.